Now at 5.
The news with Gary Liberatore and meteorologist Eric Gage.
Good morning, everyone, and thank you for joining us. I'm Gary Liberatore.
And I'm Storm Tracker 2 meteorologist Eric Gage.
And our work week starting off not too badly this morning.
Not too bad. I drove through some light drizzle. That's about it. It dried up as I headed into Utica itself. And throughout the day, yeah, pretty quiet. Let's take a look at those current conditions out there today. First up, a live look down in the city of Utica right now. A little damp this morning from some overnight light rain and patchy drizzle. In fact, there are some flurries falling in some of those higher elevations. I'll show here in a second. Temperature 37 degrees, 36 down in the hilltops of the southern valleys, 33 in Johnstown, and a balmy 31 in Saranac Lake with some snow showers reported there. Yorkville Battery Storm Tracker 2 live radar indicating some lake effect falling primarily in the southern valleys. There is a band here that's falling below the radar scans north of Little Falls, but we zoom in here. Pretty much Cooperstown, Oneonta, Sherburne, Winfield, south of Hamilton, all seeing some of these flurries and sprinkles. So today, as we head throughout the afternoon, the rain and snow will inevitably taper off. We'll see highs in the low 40s with cloudy skies turning to a few breaks in the cloud cover toward this evening. Either way, a relatively unimpactful day today. But as we head throughout the week, we're going to track widespread rain in some chances Tuesday and Wednesday. And then as we head into Thursday and Friday, Thanksgiving, Black Friday, there's potential for some lake effect beginning to develop. We'll have all the details on that coming up in that full forecast. Gary?
Eric, thanks. Ground will be broken.
Welcome back to Sunrise. Happy Monday. Today we are starting out with a few lingering flurries and sprinkles, but how about the rest of the day? We'll take a look right here in your forecast in a minute. First off, a look at current conditions. 37 degrees the temperature right now. Decent westerly northwesterly wind around 8 miles an hour. Sunrise 7:07, sunset 4:34. And a look at those roadways out there today. A bit damp, some minor ponding, but not too bad out there this morning in terms of any travel impacts. The exception being some notable drizzle and light rain falling in, say, sections of Otsego County, Cooperstown, Oneonta, and some snow mixing into those hilltop locations. But again, those lower elevations are warm enough for just rain, maybe a sleety mix moving its way in. But in the Mohawk Valley, especially for much of the day today, expect cloudy skies, temperatures peaking in the low to mid 40s. So we have a pretty quiet day today, but as we look ahead toward the end of the week, you see this right here, some signals pointing to a potential impactful lake effect event. We're going to dive into what we know so far, what we can expect in the coming forecast in the next few days. Again, all that coming up in a couple of minutes. Gary?
Eric, thanks. Happening today, the Utica Comets.
The WKTV Tower Cam is brought to you by the Central Association for the Blind and Visually Impaired. From Central New York's most dependable weather team, here's meteorologist Eric Gage.
Time now 5:15 on this Monday morning. Hope you all had a great weekend. Well, today looking pretty quiet weather-wise, but let's take a look at a location that might not be so snow-free like the Mohawk Valley is. A live look in Old Forge, a very wintry scene up there in the winter wonderland. Temperature 32 degrees up in northern Herkimer County. And as you head into the Mohawk Valley, we are in the mid-30s. So you can see here that lake effect taking place is falling as rain. It's turning into a few flurries in some of those higher elevations, more notably heading just through Cooperstown, heading toward I-88 here south of Cobleskill. Then a very narrow weak band heading down toward Oneonta, passing through Sherburne and just between South New Berlin and New Berlin right now. So today's quiet weather ushers in some warmer temperatures as we head toward the middle of the week. A high of 54 Wednesday, but notice here, we got a bit of a cool down on the way as we head toward Friday and Saturday following Thanksgiving. And let's dive into why. So we have this low pressure, weak low pressure here today. So in terms of conditions, impactful weather, nothing really notable. This evening through tomorrow, looking mostly quiet. Tomorrow morning, I should say, looking mostly quiet. A brief ridge of high pressure turning over to a surge of some rainfall arriving late Tuesday, or likely after sunset for the most part. And then some scattered showers heading into Wednesday. Not a complete washout, but the rainfall potential is right there. Then look right here. Look at this dip in the jet stream. This cold air pocket is what we're going to be watching heading toward Thanksgiving itself. So let's zoom in and then we'll look ahead. So today, cloudy. You could see some clearing right before sunset. Temperatures falling into the mid to low 30s tonight. Tomorrow morning, it's looking cloudy. In fact, a mostly dry day for your Tuesday. You can see here, right around sunset, that rainfall moves in. Pretty widespread, not very isolated compared to what we'll be seeing on Wednesday. As you can see here, a few spotty sprinkles throughout the day, and then more rainfall will arrive after sunset again. That cold front moves through, and then there's some changes on the way. So this is Wednesday night, and as we head toward Thursday for Thanksgiving, of course, lake effect starts to develop north of Utica, north and west Utica, and out near Lake Erie as well. And then through Thanksgiving night and Black Friday morning, that lake effect really starts to take hold of our area. So there's still some uncertainties. It's still around still around 5 days away. The days are creeping up on me here today. But as the days get closer, we're going to have a better idea of the duration, the location, the amounts of snow. But just as a precaution, as we head beyond Thanksgiving, be prepared for potential travel impacts Friday and Saturday because of this lake effect snow. So stay tuned throughout the next few days as we fine-tune that forecast. But for the time being, if you are heading anywhere for Thanksgiving, or if any family is heading here for Thanksgiving, today through Wednesday should have little to no travel impacts. Yes, maybe some rainfall I run into, but the bigger concern would be following it for potential lake effect snow.
Trying to get back home.
Yes.
Eric, thanks. Well, there is a holiday. Taking a look at your top stories this morning, ground will be broken on what may be a rebirth of the Valbiala Ski Area. State Assemblywoman Marianne Buttonshon will install a new snowmaking system at the ski center. We'll be at the groundbreaking for you and have more for you later today. Also happening today, the Utica, and thank you for joining us for this half hour. And on this Monday, a bit damp, but at least it's not below freezing, and we could be seeing snow here in the Mohawk Valley. But Eric, you were saying further south there is some snow, right?
Yeah, that's right. Mainly a few sprinkles, a few flurries falling in the southern valleys, even parts of the Adirondacks too, but pretty quiet relatively to the weekend. Let's take a look right now, Gary, what's going on outside. Good morning, everybody, on this Monday morning. And after a unsettled Sunday and a dry Saturday, we have a return to more Saturday-like conditions here, but we are still dealing with some spotty sprinkles and some damp conditions to start your day today. 37 the temperature at Griffiths and Rome right now, and still mainly in the 30s across much of central New York. And the Yorkville Battery Storm Tracker 2 live radar showing some minor lake effect response in that narrow band there. Some spotty snow showers mixing in with some sprinkles at this hour. Same thing in areas up to the north. Let's zoom in here. One band right around the Cooperstown area, so you might encounter that if you were heading from anywhere in the Cooperstown area, north, south, east, or west. Today's highs will climb into the low 40s, so we will be comfortably above freezing today, and mostly quiet, even with some sunshine chances this evening right before sunset. Now, we have some rain arriving by the middle of the week, and then as we head toward the end of the week, a major cool down with potential impactful lake effect snow. We're going to dive into those chances for lake effect. The latest information that we know and what we can expect for the rest of the week coming up in a few minutes. Gary?
Eric, thanks. This morning, new hopes and fresh tensions when it comes to a potential end to Russia's war on Ukraine. The Trump administration is pressing Ukraine to accept a 28-point peace plan by Thanksgiving, despite concerns that the deal only benefits Russia. NBC's Alice Barr has more now.
Welcome back to Sunrise. On this Monday morning, our photo of the day today is somewhat of a spooky scene, well, a foggy scene taken in Milford. Look at this photo right here of the sunrise through the fog. And of course, in the fall, usually our foggiest time of the year. As we enter winter time, fun fact, when we get any type of cold rain or even some snow falling, and then we head into the nighttime hours, we get the right conditions, and that's when we get some of the densest fog all year long due to that snow melting, or I guess for a lack of a technical term, basically sweating, and that allows that very dense fog to form. But as we progress into the wintertime season, we'll talk a bit more about that when that does eventually occur. This photo taken by Joe. If you have a photo like that you'd like to share with us, send it to WKTV.com/weather/pics. Quick preview of our 7-day. We have some warming temperatures toward the middle of the week here. Wednesday, high 54. Then a cool down and some snow chances heading toward Black Friday. We'll dive into the latest information regarding potential lake effect snow in the end of the week coming up in a few minutes. Gary?
Eric, thanks. Thanksgiving is all about family.
New York's most dependable weather team. Here's meteorologist Eric Gage.
Welcome back on this Monday. It is that time of year. A difference in elevation means a difference in pretty much if you're winter wonderland or just a damp morning. A live look in Old Forge. Now, between when I first showed this view about a half hour ago, crews hard at work to plow some of the roads and, of course, the parking lots in Old Forge. Temperature 32 degrees. You head down into the Mohawk Valley, downtown Utica. Again, no snow to report right now. In fact, damp conditions out there from that overnight rainfall. Yorkville Battery Storm Tracker 2 live radar showing some lake effect snow and rain falling in parts of the area. Mainly rainfall, hilltops converting over to snow, but based off of the temperatures this morning, I'm thinking more of a sleety snow mix. I'm not expecting anything in terms of any notable accumulations this morning by any means. In fact, much of the day today is going to be quiet, and we're going to start to see a bit of a warm-up as we approach the next few days. Look at this right here. By Tuesday, 46. Wednesday, 54 balmy degrees with some spotty rain chances. Then we got a cool down on the way. Starting out Thanksgiving, heading toward Black Friday, and the final weekend in November here. We're in the low 30s. With potentially some impactful lake effect snow, which we'll dive into here momentarily. But let's look at the short-term forecast. This lake effect will wind down today. Some peaks of sunshine toward this evening, and then a quiet overnight. A quiet start to your Tuesday, then widespread rain arrives Tuesday nights. And then eventually a few spotty showers by Wednesday. Not really that much of a washout, but look what happens right here. See this dip in the jet stream, all those purples and pinks and that snow that could be on the way as we head beyond Thanksgiving. But let's zoom in here for now. So today, you got the clouds, you got the flurries and sprinkles this morning, the sunshine peeking out right before sunset. Clouds increase. It's a mostly quiet Tuesday. By Tuesday evening after sunset is when we start to really see that rainfall moving its way in. Widespread rain overnight, a few spotty showers Wednesday, mixed in with cloudy skies, and then that cold front moves through Wednesday nights, switching over to eventual lake effect snow. Now, there's still some uncertainty. We're still about 5 days out here, but what we know right now is we're going to see lake effects start to the north, sweep south, and then fade away as that cold air to the north recedes. In the meantime, as we head, say, closer to Tuesday and Wednesday, we'll have a better idea of how much snow, where it falls, the timing, and all of that. But just as an early precaution, there could be some travel impacts. regarding the snowfall for Friday and Saturday as that lake effect continues to develop. By the way, if you are traveling anywhere or a family is traveling before Thanksgiving, there will be no impacts, just some light rain to deal with.
Just take your time.
Yes, that's the main thing. We're New Yorkers. You just take your time and the roads will be fine.
Despite everybody else going
I know, yeah.
crazy on the road. Eric, thanks. The 45th.
The news with Gary Liberatore and meteorologist Eric Gage.
Good morning, everyone, and thank you for joining us. I'm Gary Liberatore.
And I'm Storm Tracker 2 meteorologist Eric Gage.
And happy Monday.
Happy Monday, Gary. Happy Monday to all you watching this morning. Not too bad out there
Yeah,
today.
holiday week and not looking too bad travel-wise.
Not too bad, at least for the first half of the week. Some rain we're dodging, but in terms of any impacts, it's just maybe windshield wiper type weather. Let's take a look at the current conditions out there right now. We start out by a live look into downtown Utica. A bit damp from some overnight rain showers. And we still have some lingering lake effects to show here on the radar in a second. But the temperature's still continuing to climb. We are at 38 now in Rome, 34 Hamilton, 33 Johnstown. In fact, the only local temperatures here below freezing are in the hilltops and in the Adirondacks. You can see here some snow reported at Saranac Lake with a temperature of 31 degrees. Yorkville Battery Storm Tracker 2 live radar, watching some minor lake effect response take place right now. In fact, a very narrow band moving through Cooperstown. It's going to be interesting to see how that develops throughout the morning here, but for now it's mainly rainfall. Some hilltops in those areas might even see a trace amount of snow, but it's more of a sleety type mixture with the temperature right now. So today, regardless of this morning's conditions, we're all going to climb above freezing, highs in the low to mid 40s with cloudy skies, so not too bad of a day today with even some sunshine chances right before sunset here. But following that, we are going to be following some rain chances by the middle of the week, Tuesday night, Wednesday. And then as Thanksgiving arrives, a huge dip in the jet stream brings a potential for some impactful lake effect snow. We're going to dive into the latest information on that coming up in a few minutes. Gary?
Eric, thanks. Ground will be broken.
Welcome back here to Sunrise. Hope you had a great weekend, both Saturday and Sunday. Saturday, well, drier than Sunday, but today we got some more dry weather on tap after a damp morning. But let's take a look at what you can expect heading out the door today in your forecast in a minute. First off, a look at the current conditions, 38 degrees with cloudy skies at Griffiths and Rome. A west-northwesterly wind of 8 miles an hour. Sunrise 7:07, sunset at 4:34. A look at the roadways. We have some minor ponding in some low-lying areas. A live look at the arterial, Herkimer, Boonville, and in New Hartford, right along the connection between Genesee Street and Route 5 and 12. And to look at the current conditions here on the radar, we have some lake effect taking place mainly in the southern valleys. We have some bands here that are falling below the radar scans as they enter the Mohawk Valley. But either way, today, clouds will be pretty dominant for much of the morning and early afternoon. Some peaks of sunshine before sunset. And then beyond that, we are keeping our eyes on a potential impactful lake effect event following Thanksgiving toward the end of the week. We're going to dive into this, our latest thoughts and potential impacts for travel as we head into Black Friday and beyond coming up in a couple of minutes. Gary?
Eric, thanks. Happening today, the Utica Comets.
The WKTV Tower Cam is brought to you by the Central Association for the Blind and Visually Impaired. From Central New York's most dependable weather team, here's meteorologist Eric Gage.
Time now 6:15 on this Monday morning. We begin a little bit on the damp side, but as we progress throughout the day today, we'll see some clouds, eventually some peaks of sun. A live look in Rome this morning from the MVCC campus. Again, a little damp out there on some roads. Will progressively dry out as this lake effect begins to wind down. You can see it's starting to fizzle out a little bit. But we still have some minor bands, primarily south of Utica right there, and then heading through the portions of Otsego County heading toward Route 28 between Cooperstown, eventually closer to Milford, and then south toward I-88 into pretty much the border of Delaware in Schoharie County. But while we do dry up today, our temperatures climb into the low to mid 40s. A start of a slow warm-up as we progress toward the middle of the week. Highs will climb into the 50s by Wednesday, but then comes a cool down as we enter Thanksgiving time and eventually Black Friday into Saturday and Sunday. We're going to drop into the 30s. And that's all driven in by a pocket of Arctic air moving in from the northwest. We'll see it take place following this brief ridge, producing dry weather tonight through much of tomorrow. Rainfall arrives tomorrow night through the early part of early part of Wednesday. And then following that cold front right here, look at this pocket of cold air. Purples and pinks, that tells you how cold that air mass is, and it's moving its way into our area following the holiday. So in our skycast, let's zoom in here quickly for a second. Clouds turn to peaks of sun before sunset, then clouds increase again overnight. A cloudy day tomorrow, a dry one though, and then we'll see that rainfall move in heading into the evening. Widespread rain arrives, and then a few spotty sprinkles and showers throughout the day Wednesday. Then by Wednesday night, there comes that cold front, and then following that, a big change in the weather pattern. Let's dive into what happens this is Thanksgiving, like midnight Thanksgiving morning, so you have to wait a little bit for the cold to really move its way in. Thanksgiving night, that lake effect snow, mainly north and west. That band sweeps its way south, heading throughout Black Friday. But that cold air will recede as we head toward late Saturday. As you can see here, that lake effect will begin to wind down. But in the meantime, just as an extra precaution, looking ahead toward the end of the week, if you are traveling before Thanksgiving, you should be fine. Just some rainfall, no delays expected, but that lake effect moving in following Thanksgiving could have some travel impacts. If you're on the roads there too, if that lake effect band moves into Syracuse, potential flight delays, we'll see how that pans out. But for now, just an early heads up, we'll fine tune that forecast in the next few days.
Not bad getting there.
Yeah, not too bad though if you're flying anywhere out.
Yeah. Getting back may be a different story. Well, there is a holiday again, and thank you for joining us for this half hour. And on this Monday, a bit damp, but at least it's not snowing. And Eric, some parts to the south and to the north may be seeing some flurries, right?
Yeah, that's right. But at least today, Gary, nothing really impactful weather-wise or heading out the door today. You'll be encountering just maybe a few light flurries or sprinkles. Let's take a look at the current conditions out there this morning. 38 degrees officially at Griffiths and Rome. So, yes, we are above freezing already, and we're going to climb a few more degrees this afternoon. The rest of the area hovering right around that freezing point there today. But as you can see here, a live look at the Yorkville Battery Storm Tracker 2 live radar. We have a few areas of some lake effect snow bands or even rain bands. I'm going to focus more on this one right here that's moving through the Cooperstown area. In fact, let's take a live look in Cooperstown right now, where I can see a few flurries falling currently, maybe a sleety type snow. Again, it's hard to really tell from how early in the morning it is right now. But either way, I'm not expecting anything impactful travel-wise today, aside from some minor ponding and some light accumulations in those hilltops early today. Highs will climb into the low to mid 40s. We're going to be looking at a bit of a warm-up by the middle of the week into the 50s potentially, but then a cool down with potential impactful lake effect snow. We'll dive into that forecast. Our latest thoughts coming up in a few minutes. Gary?
Eric, thanks. This morning, fresh.
Welcome back to Sunrise on this Monday morning. Our photo of the day is a amazing shot right here in Milford of a sunrise through the fog taken by Joe here, and quite a scene of the sunscape in the background and the spooky scene here in the front. Reminds me of a photo we shared in late October of a Halloween looking photo here. But we're of course in fog season, mainly fall and especially in wintertime, as we're going to have advection fog and all different types of fog due to snow and rain and the colder temperatures. So, but as the days move closer to those events, we'll of course dive into the explanations behind them. But either way, if you have a photo like this you'd like to share with us, send it to WKTV.com/weather/pics. A quick look at your 7-day forecast. We do have some sunshine peeking out later on in the day today. Rainfall tomorrow, Wednesday. Eventually, some snow showers arriving later on this week. Lake effect that could be impactful, especially Friday and Saturday. We'll dive into that coming up in a few minutes. Gary?
Eric, thanks. Thanksgiving is all about
New York's most dependable weather team. Here's meteorologist Eric Gage.
Good morning, everybody. Two different scenes here across the area early today. Let's start out with a live look at Old Forge, a snowy scene up there where heading down into the Mohawk Valley, well, a serious lack of it. This temperature is already in the mid-30s here across much of the lower elevations. Now, today, as we take a look right here at the Yorkville Battery Storm Tracker 2 live radar, we are starting out with some minor lake effect, but that will continue to wind down throughout the next few hours as, of course, our temperatures continue to climb and the winds will begin to shift a little bit away from the northwesterly direction. You can still see here, though, a few narrow bands moving through parts of Otsego County. Now, that temperature climb I'm mentioning today will reach the low to mid 40s. Then tomorrow a little warmer, and then our warmest day of the next 7 on Wednesday, high of 54 balmy degrees. Then a cool down begins to move in. Look at this. Thanksgiving, Black Friday, and the final weekend of November. Going to be cooling down quite a bit as a strong cold front arrives into the area. And that might usher in some more impactful weather, which we'll dive into here in a second. But let's talk about what happens before Thanksgiving. So we have a brief ridge tonight through tomorrow, keeping the weather dry. Rainfall arrives tomorrow night. Widespread at times, and then it's going to fizzle out a little bit, a few spotty showers Wednesday. Then that cold front right there moves in Wednesday evening, setting the stage for a gradual cool down throughout Thanksgiving and especially into the Friday and Saturday time of the week this week. So today on our Skycast, clouds turn to some peaks of sunshine right before sunset, highs in the low to mid 40s. Tomorrow, mostly cloudy, highs in the 40s again, pretty much dry all day long tomorrow. Then we'll see that rainfall arrive around sunset. Continue overnight, a few spotty showers Wednesday. Again, our warmest day of the week will be in the 50s. Then by Wednesday night, here comes that cold front, and then a pattern shift moves in. So here's what we are expecting. Lake effect will start to form in this direction right here. See the lines moving on the screen here? Basically the way my arm is moving, it's going to be moving in that direction. And then watch as it slowly shifts its way south as the wind direction changes. We have that pocket of very cold air producing that lake effect, and that'll continue through Thanksgiving night, eventually pretty much all of Black Friday and the early part of the weekend right there, Saturday morning before that cold air begins to recede. So, how about travel impacts? Well, if you are heading anywhere or if any family is heading here, Tuesday, Wednesday, it's raining here and there, but it's not really that impactful. But travel might be impacted following Thanksgiving, potentially Friday and Saturday. It's still too early to know exactly how much snow and where it'll exactly fall, but just an early heads up that it looks to be impactful snow.
Yeah.
And we'll be following it over the next few days.
You'll be busy.
Yes.
Eric, thanks. Well, in the fall.
With Gary Liberatore and meteorologist Eric Gage.
Good morning, good afternoon, that is. I'm still on the morning show, that's
Yeah.
for sure. Thank you for joining us. I'm Gary Liberatore.
And I'm Storm Tracker 2 meteorologist Eric Gage.
And as we begin this very busy travel week, not a bad way to start, right?
Not too bad, Gary. Yeah, we're starting to dry up right now. It was a little damp this morning, but things are progressively, again, drying out. Let's take a look right now at downtown Utica. Roadways a little less damp compared to earlier this morning. Temperatures still hovering in the low 40s in the Mohawk Valley. A little cooler as you head into those higher elevations. 37 Hamilton, nearing 40 in Watertown. Still a few flurries reported up in the high peaks of the Adirondacks. Out in western New York, though, look at that. We're approaching near 50 in Dansville, 45 in Rochester. Yorkville Battery Storm Tracker 2 live radar. Again, you can see some minor remnants of some flurries and sprinkles so far, but that's really about it. But for the next few days, you can see here, if you are traveling anywhere locally, we got some rain arriving tomorrow night. Really impacts not that high. Clouds and scattered rain showers developing on Wednesday. Lake effect starts to form east on Thursday, and then for Black Friday is the highest impact day travel-wise here locally, with potential for lake effect snow moving through parts of central New York. And we'll dive into that coming up in a few minutes. We'll talk about the zones that could see the most amount of snow and all the latest up-to-date information we have right now. But as you can see here, temperatures today in the 40s. We're going to cool down into the 30s tonight with quiet weather. Another dry day tomorrow, but again, that rainfall begins to arrive tomorrow night. We'll have the details on that arrival for that. Plus, again, that lake effect snow forecast straight ahead. Gary?
Eric, thanks. The Thanksgiving travel.
The WKTV Tower Cam is brought to you by the Central Association for the Blind and Visually Impaired. From Central New York's most dependable weather team, here's meteorologist Eric Gage.
Good afternoon on this Monday. Hope you all had a great weekend. Today, after a damp start, things are starting to dry up a little bit. Here's a live look in Cooperstown this afternoon. Temperature 39 degrees, almost pushing 40. And beyond this, a lot of the other locations here across the area reporting those similar temperatures too. Yorkville Battery Storm Tracker 2 live radar showing again mainly dry weather, just some very narrow remnants of some lake effect here, falling underneath some of the radar scans as they enter that hill shadow heading toward the valley up near Boonville. But in the meantime, temperature-wise, it's going to be a bit of a warm-up the next few days. Today's high at 43. By the middle of the week, Wednesday, 54 degrees the temperature, very warm. Compared to average, a normal high this time of year sits around 48, 49 degrees. But watch what happens Thursday and Friday. Thanksgiving, Black Friday, not feeling that warm. In fact, strong winds could bring those wind chills Friday and Saturday down into the teens. So quite a difference here compared to, again, on Wednesday. The reason for it is right here. We have a dry slot here from a brief ridge, and then we have this cold front moving in from the west. Now before that, we have a surge of rain Tuesday, some spotty showers Wednesday mixed in with clouds, and then there's that cold front right there. And look at this pocket of very cold air here with that pink and purple color there, and some snow showers reported. That's going to work its way in following Thanksgiving. Our skycast today shows cloudy skies, some clearing taking place, hit or miss across the area. Either way, clouds return again overnight tonight, Tuesday. Pretty much a cloudy day, not really that damp, but by Tuesday evening, by the nighttime hours around sunset, that's when we could see that rainfall begin to arrive, heaviest in the Mohawk Valley. Then Wednesday morning, we're going to be seeing a few spotty showers that will linger throughout much of the day. That cold front moves through Wednesday evening, and that's what brings the changes in terms of lake effect snow heading toward the end of the week. This is our early idea of the potential of lake effect between Thursday night and Saturday morning. The winds initially carry the snow in this southwest direction, impacting this zone right here, and then the winds flip-flop quickly, impacting the hills south of the Mohawk Valley. As we head throughout the next few days, we're going to get more updates in terms of the exact accumulations, but there's a lot more consistency in the data pointing to this possibility. So this is not a blockbuster event, but again, between Thursday night right here and Saturday morning, this could impact travel, which is especially important for a lot of you who have family and friends coming in from out of town, or if you are heading out of town and coming back early, say on Saturday. So again, if you are traveling anytime for the early part of this week, today through Wednesday, impacts really not existent, but just make sure you're weather aware following Thanksgiving.
Yeah. Getting there is going to be easy.
Yes, maybe not the same case going back.
Yeah, getting home might
Yeah.
be rough. Eric, thanks. The Smithsonian meteorologist Eric Gage joining us, and this week not looking too bad to start our travel plans, but you're keeping your eye on later in the week.
Yeah, that's right. If you're traveling anywhere, heading down to outside of the state, or just driving anywhere, flying, you name it, yeah, initially not too bad. In fact, you can see here, Tuesday night we have rain arriving. In fact, by the way, beforehand, it is going to be quiet tonight through Tuesday afternoon. Then Wednesday, it's cloudy with a few scattered rain showers. Thursday, lake effect begins to fall mainly east. I would say mainly impacting the Rochester, Buffalo, or just south of Buffalo, I should say, in the Watertown areas. Here locally, the impacts really start to form on Friday. Lake effect snow sweeps through the Mohawk Valley. So again, if you're making any plans for travel the next few days, before Thanksgiving, you're good. After Thanksgiving, just make sure you're weather aware. This is not a blockbuster event, but again, coming up in a few minutes, we'll dive into the exact impacts, what we know so far, and what we are expecting to find out in the coming days. Downtown Utica, a live view outside. It's a cloudy afternoon out there. A few breaks in the cloud cover as well. You can see sunshine in Johnstown, Binghamton, and in Watertown. A few flurries up at Saranac Lake. Yorkville Battery Live Radar, dry conditions for the most part. Lake effect really starting to wind down right now, and as we progress throughout the next 12 hours, again, it is looking mostly dry. Peaks of sunshine right before sunset, and then clouds increase again overnight with lows in the 30s. And as I mentioned, we'll be talking a bit more about that lake effect snow, plus the potential for that rainfall arriving tomorrow night. How much could we see, and how long does that last? All the details straight ahead. Gary?
Eric, thanks. A Holland Patton woman is...
The WKTV Tower Cam is brought to you by the Central Association for the Blind and Visually Impaired. From Central New York's most dependable weather team, here's meteorologist Eric Gage.
Good afternoon. Happy Monday. So far today, it started out a bit on the damp side, but things have continued to dry up. A few peaks of sunshine, but cloudy skies still relatively dominate the Mohawk Valley right now. Give it a few hours, we'll have more opportunity for that elusive blue color in the sky. Either way, temperature 38 degrees, still hovering near 40 degrees in parts of the area. The Yorkville Battery Live Radar showing just a few areas of light lake effects starting to wind down. The temperatures today are a sign of what's to come, at least for the middle of the week. Warming up into the mid-40s Tuesday, eventually into the mid-50s by Wednesday. So you have a bit of a warm up, but then comes that cool down. A strong cold front moves in. Thanksgiving and beyond looks to be a lot on the cooler side, in the 30s for highs Friday and on Saturday. Let's dive into why. So here's a look at the bigger picture here. We have the jet stream mainly just to our north a little bit, and then that's going to steer in some widespread rain. This begins to arrive Tuesday nights around sunset through the overnight hours, and eventually a few spotty showers Wednesday. This right here, there's that cold front that moves through. This is going to usher in that cooler weather. So as we head into, say, the end of the week, we're dealing with this air mass right here. You see the purples and pinks, doesn't look that warm, does it? Well, that's going to be producing that lake effect snow. So our skycast today shows clouds turning to sunshine, highs in the low to mid 40s. Tonight, we're in the 30s, clouds increase. It's a cloudy but dry day tomorrow. Again, no impacts if you're traveling by any means tomorrow. Widespread rain develops tomorrow night, a bit on the heavier side in the Mohawk Valley. And then by Wednesday morning, a few spotty sprinkles and showers mixed in with clouds. And then comes that cold front Wednesday evening, give or take a few hours, around 7 o'clock at night. Then comes that big change in the weather pattern. So here's this lake effect snow. Now, it's too early for a snowfall map in terms of exact totals, but what we can tell you right now is the lake effect will start out by producing a lot of snow right here in this southwesterly direction. So it's going to kick its way up north, impacting Tug Hill and the Watertown area. Then it'll sweep in the opposite direction. Northwest winds will carry it south of the Mohawk Valley, skipping quickly over the Mohawk Valley itself. So for now, this is where the highest impact zones are, in the blue area. And stay tuned for updates throughout today, throughout tomorrow and Wednesday as we fine-tune this and give you guys exact snowfall measurements as this system continues to move its way in. But for now, here's an early heads up of potential impacts. Your 7-day forecast, you can see the difference here. If you're traveling by any means between Thursday night through Saturday morning, that's that potential impact right there. And you can see that big difference here. 54 the high Wednesday, 39 the high on Friday. Then 31 on Saturday, some scattered snow showers continue, and we're still in that cooler pattern, slightly above freezing on Sunday, but still nowhere near the 40s and 50s we're experiencing in the coming days. Gary?
Eric, thanks. We are back with News Talk. Our guest this noon is Carlos Feliciano.
Meteorologist Bill Curtis. Here we go.
Yeah, we're focused on late this week. We have some lake effect snow that's expected to develop, and that's where we're going to start tonight. National Weather Service has winter storm watches in effect. Remember, they changed the language. They don't do lake effect snow watches, but this is what it would be. We're tracking lake effect snow Thursday night through Saturday morning. I don't think this is going to affect your travel on Thanksgiving, but Thanksgiving night, Black Friday, Saturday, especially in the morning, we are going to be tracking some lake effect snow. It doesn't look like a blockbuster event, but it is going to affect travel, and there will be some accumulation. Live look at the Yorkville Battery Storm Tracker 2 Doppler radar. Things look pretty quiet. Current temperature 36 degrees under partly cloudy skies. It is cloudy tonight. The rain returns late tomorrow. It gets pretty mild for Wednesday before a strong cold front arrives Wednesday night, and that's what's going to set up the lake effect snow. Again, it looks like it's not going to affect us Thursday, but it will Friday. And we've got more details on that coming up. Mostly cloudy this evening, temperatures in the 30s. Again, tracking some rain and some mild weather over the next couple of days. Look at the forecasts coming up. Jason, back to you.
Bill, thank you. Crews have started.
The WKTV Tower Cam is brought to you by the Central Association for the Blind and Visually Impaired. From Central New York's most dependable weather team, here's Chief Meteorologist Bill Curtis.
Good evening. A pretty nice day across central New York. It was mostly cloudy and dry, and we're going to see a couple of quiet days ahead. The weather turns a lot milder as we head into the middle of the week before much colder weather returns. As a live look at downtown Utica, it's been a pretty quiet night. Live look at the Yorkville Battery Storm Tracker 2 Doppler radar. Again, things look pretty quiet here overnight. And we're focusing on travel. I know a lot of folks hitting the roads over the next couple of days. This is what you can expect as we look ahead. We're talking about rainfall arriving late tomorrow. That really doesn't cause any big headaches on the roads. Even Wednesday should be okay. Not really seeing any big impacts here weather-wise. Clouds and a few scattered showers. Thursday, Thanksgiving Day, unless you're heading into western New York or northern New York, the lake effect snow that does develop doesn't impact central New York very much. It's not until Friday. That's when the lake effect snow is expected to drop south. So we're talking about several days out. And then Friday, again, it looks like it's going to affect a good portion of our area. Not a super heavy accumulation, but certainly enough to impact travel. A reminder, you can get weather alerts on your phone by downloading our Storm Tracker 2 weather app. So you look at the bigger picture, things look quiet for the short term. Clouds are thickening up from the west. The next area of low pressure moves in. This brings rain and milder temperatures, at least for the short term. We're expecting temperatures to be in the 50s as we head into Wednesday afternoon before a sharp drop in temperature follows for Thanksgiving. Storm Tracker 2 Skycast tonight. Cloudy skies, overnight lows drop into the low 30s. It's cloudy for most of Tuesday, and the majority of the day looks dry. It's not until late in the day that we could see a couple of rain showers here, and that's closer to sunset. Again, temperatures will be in the low to mid 40s. Rain is expected tomorrow night. A couple of showers here on Wednesday morning. Temperatures start out in the upper 40s. Again, it's looking very mild Wednesday afternoon. We'll make a run well into the 50s. Then that cold front arrives, and that will be late in the day. That's going to be a game changer. We're going to see a sharp drop in temperature. Rain turns over to snow showers, and it's looking much colder heading into Thanksgiving. I wanted to give you an idea of what we're talking about in terms of what areas get impacted with lake effect snow Thursday and Friday. So Thursday, the winds are primarily west to southwesterly, which means it's Watertown, it's Buffalo, it's not central New York. We may occasionally see some snow showers from Lake Erie but I think most of that stays out of central New York, and we shouldn't have any big travel troubles. Thanksgiving night, lake effect snow turns into the winds turn westerly, so the snow impacts the North Country. And then Black Friday, the winds turn into the northwest. And so this band will drop south. And I think it's Friday when most of us see the impacts of this. And there will be quite a bit of wind and cold temperatures to go along with this. So do expect some traveling issues here Friday, along with lake effect snow accumulation. Tonight, cloudy, 29. Tomorrow, rain develops late, temperatures in the mid-40s. Storm Tracker 2 7-day forecast, 57 Wednesday before the rain arrives. It's windy, it's chilly Thanksgiving Day. Again, traveling should be okay during the day. It's Friday that we're tracking lake effect snow across most of central New York. That comes to an end Friday night, and then the weather starts to warm up early next week.
But the Wednesday to Thursday, that's a shock too.
Big drop in temperature for sure, yeah.
All right, Bill, thank you.
It's a Chief Meteorologist Bill Cardis.
So we had a beautiful photo to share. This was taken earlier last week, well, at the end of last week, from Joel. Just a few cirrus clouds showing a pretty interesting formation. This was taken in Whitesboro, and we were fortunate enough to see a little bit of sunshine today. Live look at the Yorkville Battery Storm Tracker 2 Doppler radar. Unfortunately, looking ahead, I don't really see much sunshine in sight, and we will be tracking some tricky travel as we head into Black Friday of this week with some lake effect snow locally. Temperatures will get much warmer. In fact, we're up to 57 on Wednesday before we'll have a shock to the system with much colder weather into the 30s here as we head into Thanksgiving and beyond. If you're taking the dog out for a walk this evening, temperatures look to be in the low 30s. We're looking at dry weather with partly cloudy skies. Josie doesn't really look like ready for a walk. We're tracking, again, a beautiful evening here in central New York. I've got to look at the forecast coming up. Kristen, back to you.
The Smithsonian
The WKTV Tower Cam is brought to you by the Central Association for the Blind and Visually Impaired. From Central New York's most dependable weather team, here's Chief Meteorologist Bill Cardis.
Good evening. Turning out to be a pretty lovely day today. The weather's going to stay dry for the short term, but we've got some pretty big changes, especially by the end of the week for some of the big travel days. This is the live look in Oneonta, temperature of 34 degrees. It's dry out there in the Yorkville Battery Storm Tracker 2 Doppler radar. We're focused on travel impacts over the next several days, and the short-term weather looks pretty quiet. We are expecting rain to arrive tomorrow night. Clouds, scattered rain showers Wednesday. Thursday, lake effect snow is going to develop, but a lot of this is going to stay outside of the WKTV viewing area. It's going to be up towards Watertown and Buffalo. And then by Friday, that's the day to watch. So if you're traveling Friday, maybe you just plan on doing some shopping, or maybe you are traveling back home or somewhere. We are going to be tracking some lake effect snow in the Mohawk Valley and across a good portion of central New York, along with windy conditions. The winds are going to be picking up over the next couple of days. We get into a much more active weather pattern here towards the end of the week. But tomorrow looks like a pretty nice day with light winds. Skywatchers, Clinton, Bob, 38 degrees, Helena, Cassville, 35, Inlet, 29, Bill and Old Forge, 33, Sandy and Fairfield, 32, Skinnyville, Gary with 38, and Worcester, Carroll, 38 degrees. The next area of low pressure approaches from the west, and the clouds will be thickening up tonight. This one's going to bring rain and some very mild weather as we head into the middle of the week. I think temperatures are going to make a run well into the 50s here by Wednesday afternoon. Tonight, clouds thicken up. Overnight lows drop down into the low 30s. We'll start out tomorrow morning with cloudy skies, and the clouds are going to just hang around for the majority of the day, and it is dry for most of it. Temperatures climb into the mid-40s. Rain will arrive after dark, and rain will be around tomorrow night. Temperatures will be in the 40s. And then Wednesday looks like a very mild day. We'll see a few showers. Again, easily into the 50s in the afternoon with a south wind kicking in. There will be a strong cold front that arrives Wednesday night, and that is going to set the stage for much colder weather heading into Thanksgiving. Looking ahead, the wind direction Thanksgiving will favor heavier lake effect snow across Watertown and Buffalo. The winds are going to be generally from the southwest. We may occasionally see some snow showers Thanksgiving Day from Lake Erie, which doesn't cause any big problems. Friday is going to be a different story. The winds turn into the northwest. Widespread snow is expected. Again, it's too early to put down numbers here, but just expect widespread snow Friday across a good portion of central New York. And there could be some blowing and drifting snow with gusty winds expected to be about 30 to 40 miles an hour. So travel will definitely be impacted Friday. And again, not so much, at least locally, on Thanksgiving. Cloudy tonight, low of 29. Tomorrow, cloudy. Rain arrives very late in the day, 46. Storm Tracker 2 7-day forecast. A mild Wednesday, 57. Cold front arrives Wednesday night. The winds pick up. Lake effect snow north and west Thanksgiving Day. Widespread snow on Friday, 33. Snow showers end early Saturday. Cloudy Sunday. Return to rain and temperatures in the 40s by Monday. We'll be right back.
Meteorologist Bill Cardis.
And we are thinking ahead and talking about some lake effect snow here. This is to the end of the week. Winter storm watch in effect for Lewis, Oneida, Madison, Herkimer County. Remember, the Weather Service changed the language here. They don't issue lake effect snow watches, but this is what it should be because we are tracking lake effect snow in this time frame. Most of this will affect our area, being here in central New York on Friday as opposed to Thanksgiving. Live look at the Yorkville Battery Storm Tracker 2 Doppler radar. Traveling ahead of the Thanksgiving holiday looks pretty smooth across central New York. It's quiet out there tonight, 32 degrees. Clear skies, pretty chilly. We'll drop into the upper 20s before clouds return overnight. The weather remains dry for most of tomorrow with rain returning late. Mild Wednesday, but then the weather gets much colder. And again, we're tracking lake effect snow primarily Friday and into Friday night across most of central New York. Temperatures this evening drop into the low 30s under partly to mostly cloudy skies. Again, tracking some milder weather before things really change. Look at the forecast coming up. Jason, back to you.
Bill, thank you. The call.
The WKTV Tower Cam is brought to you by the Central Association for the Blind and Visually Impaired. From Central New York's most dependable weather team, here's Chief Meteorologist Bill Cardis.
Turning out to be a lovely November day, where the weather's going to cooperate for the most part tonight and early tomorrow before some rain returns late. This is live looking downtown Utica. Things look pretty quiet. Again, it will remain dry in the Yorkville Battery Storm Tracker 2 Doppler radar for the rest of tonight and for most of tomorrow. And then we're tracking some rain tomorrow night. As we head into the holiday, traveling really shouldn't be an issue locally over the next couple of days. It's just a couple of scattered showers here tomorrow night as well as late Wednesday. It's not until Thanksgiving Day where lake effect starts to develop, and even here it should be outside of the WKTV viewing area. It'd be up towards Watertown and Buffalo. So if you're traveling north or west, that might be an issue for you. But this doesn't really affect our area until Friday. That's when the wind direction changes. We're talking about widespread lake effect snow and snow accumulation. Skywatchers checking in. Whitesboro 38 degrees, Barneveld 34, Norway 36, Fairfield Sandy 32. Edmonston, Scott with 38, and Worcester, Carroll also 38 degrees. We've got an area of low pressure swinging in from the west, and this is going to bring milder temperatures to central New York along with some rain as we head into tomorrow night. Clouds will thicken up overnight. Temperatures will fall below freezing, but with the clouds hanging around for most of the night, temperatures don't really change very much. We'll start out tomorrow morning with temperatures in the 30s, and it looks like a pretty nice day. A cloudy afternoon, dry, temperatures in the mid-40s. Rain arrives late tomorrow. It'll be after dark, after 5 p.m., becoming widespread overnight. That's the first round that's expected. Rain showers here early Wednesday, and it looks very mild. Temperatures should make a run well into the 50s Wednesday afternoon. Might see a few breaks of sunshine, and then things are really going to change. A cold front moves in from the west. This is going to drop the temperature quickly tomorrow, Wednesday night, and also cause windy conditions heading into Thanksgiving Day. Now, the winds Thanksgiving Day produce lake effect snow primarily north and west of Utica. We could see a few snow showers locally from Lake Erie. Those tend to not have any major impacts traveling wise. But things do change by Friday. The wind direction turns into the northwest, so that band will drop southward. And this is the time where a good portion of central New York gets affected with lake effect accumulation. We're still a few days out for snowfall maps, but again, it looks like Friday would be the most likely day of any accumulation locally. Cloudy tonight, low of 29. Tomorrow, cloudy, rain returns late, 46. Storm Tracker 2 7-day forecast, 57 Wednesday. That's going to feel mild. Thanksgiving Day, much colder. Clouds, a couple of snow showers, windy, 39. Some tricky travel Friday locally with lake effect snow. This comes to an end early Saturday. We're in the 30s over the weekend with rain returning Monday.
All right, Bill, thank you.
Thank you, Bill. Still to come on News Chat with Chief Meteorologist Bill Cardis.
We're keeping an eye on something just a few days away. It's not tonight. It's for Thursday into Friday, right?
Yes, and I also want to remind people that the language has changed. The National Weather Service doesn't use lake effect snow watches anymore. They use winter storm watch, which can be a little confusing because you think of a winter storm, you think of it being widespread, but this isn't. This is going to be lake effect snow. If this were to be upgraded to a warning, they would issue a lake effect snow warning. So that part hasn't changed. And by the way, this is for mostly Friday. That's when the majority of this is going to fall. So we are still several days away from that, but it will affect travel. If you're going to be traveling after Thanksgiving, this is going to be something you're going to want to keep an eye on. Current temperature 32 degrees, clear skies, a pretty quiet night across central New York. We are tracking what the radar is showing as a few light snow showers, but in reality it's pretty quiet. A lot of that is not reaching the ground. It'll stay cloudy tonight and tomorrow. Rain arrives late tomorrow. And then we're going to be tracking some lake effect snow as we head towards the later this week. Cloudy skies tonight, low of 29. We're taking a look at how the forecast looks like traveling towards Thanksgiving. That's coming up. Jason, back to you.
Bill, thank you. The cause of a fatal fire.
The WKTV Tower Cam is brought to you by the Central Association for the Blind and Visually Impaired. From Central New York's most dependable weather team, here's Chief Meteorologist Bill Curtis.
Good evening. We're taking a live look in downtown Utica. It's a pretty quiet night across central New York. Overcast skies. Was a beautiful day. We did see some sunshine, and tomorrow's going to be pretty nice too. It's going to be overcast. We do expect to see some rain before the day is done. This is a live look at the Yorkville Battery Storm Tracker 2 Doppler radar. Again, all is quiet. Traveling leading up to Thanksgiving and beyond. We have some rain that is expected to arrive late tomorrow. Most of that arrives tomorrow night. Really doesn't have a huge impact on travel. Wednesday, clouds, a few scattered showers. That looks like a pretty good travel day across central New York. And it's warm too. A lot of places will get into the 50s. Thursday, Thanksgiving Day, it's going to be much colder, and we're tracking lake effect snow, which is primarily going to fall outside of the WKTV television market. It's going to be towards Buffalo and Watertown with the southwest wind. But by Friday, central New York hits lake effect snow with the wind direction changing, and the band's expected to impact a good portion of the area. Thanksgiving preview, cloudy, windy, flurries, temperatures in the upper 30s, much colder weather after a very mild Wednesday. Bigger picture shows low pressure approaching from the west, plenty of rain taking place out near Chicago, Illinois, Indiana. This is all moving eastward, and the clouds will be thickening up tonight. Temperatures will drop into the upper 20s to low 30s. Now, on tomorrow, it's cloudy for most of the day, but it is dry. Temperatures climb into the mid-40s. Rain will return after dark, and it becomes widespread as we head into tomorrow night. Wednesday, a few showers are possible in the morning. Otherwise, it's a warm afternoon. Temperatures climb into the mid to upper 50s. Wednesday night, that's when a cold front arrives, a strong cold front that's going to kick up the wind, knock the temperatures down, and eventually kick off some lake effect snow. And again, the position of the band Thanksgiving Day is primarily north and west of Utica, towards Watertown, Buffalo, along that southwest wind. However, by Friday, the wind direction changes and that band does drop south, and we're thinking widespread accumulating snow. Most of this happens on Friday, Friday night, and very early Saturday, and there could be several inches of accumulation. Stay tuned. Cloudy skies tonight, low temperature of 29. Tomorrow, looking at cloudy skies, rain develops late, 46. Storm Tracker 2 7-day forecast. It's mild on Wednesday, 57, and that cold front arrives for Thanksgiving. It's windy, it's colder. And again, a couple of snow showers Thanksgiving Day, not a big deal. More of a big deal on Friday with lake effect snow, 33. Snow showers early Saturday, cloudy Sunday. Rain returns Monday.
That lake effect on Friday, is that early morning through or late morning? You're not sure yet.
I think it's most of the day.
Okay.
So we'll be dealing with it most of the day.
Gotcha. Thank you, sir. Coming up next, some extra look at the forecast with Chief Meteorologist Bill Curtis. Winter weather alert for later this week.
Yeah, this is mostly for Friday. We have a winter storm watch for lake effect snow. They changed, the National Weather Service changed the terms here. They now call it a winter storm watch instead of a lake effect snow watch.
Right.
So just keep in mind this is going to be localized, and this is primarily Friday. So if you're traveling up until Thanksgiving, shouldn't be an issue. Even Thanksgiving Day, Not expecting any big problems, but Friday could be a different story across central New York. Temperatures are in the low 30s this evening. Clear skies. Turned out to be a pretty nice day. Tomorrow looks pretty nice too, although it's going to be cloudy. Live look at the Yorkville Battery Storm Tracker 2 Doppler radar. A few sprinkles showing up across the North Country. We are looking at pretty quiet conditions tonight, though. I think a lot of that is not reaching the ground. Are looking at our weather headlines. Cloudy tonight and tomorrow. Rain arrives late tomorrow ahead of a warm front. We've got a surge of warm weather for Wednesday before it cools down. A big cool down for Thanksgiving, and again also tracking some lake effect snow later in the week. Cloudy skies, a temperature in the upper 20s tonight. We are tracking the chance for snow later this week. Look at the forecast coming up. Jason, back to you.
Bill, thank you. The cause of a fatal fire in
The WKTV Tower Cam is brought to you by the Central Association for the Blind and Visually Impaired. From Central New York's most dependable weather team, here's Chief Meteorologist Bill Curtis.
Good evening. We're taking a live look in downtown Utica. It turned out to be a pretty nice day. Some clouds are starting to roll in from the west. This is ahead of our next weather maker, which will bring us rain as we head into tomorrow night, along with some milder weather by Wednesday. Live look at the Yorkville Battery Storm Tracker 2 Doppler radar. Pretty quiet out there. A couple of very light sprinkles and flurries to the north. A lot of these aren't even reaching the ground. Let's talk travel impacts as we head towards Thanksgiving. Tomorrow night, rain showers arrive. This looks widespread overnight, and this will impact travel, but not in a huge way. On Wednesday, scattered showers, more of a steadier rain later in the day. No big impacts here. If you're heading out during the day, it's fine. Wednesday night, a cold front arrives that produces a big drop in the temperature, and it does produce lake effect snow on Thursday. For Thursday, this is not going to have a big impact locally. A lot of the bands of snow will be north and west of central New York, out towards Buffalo and Watertown. So again, traveling locally should be okay. Friday is the day where travel is going to have a much larger impact, where we have lake effect snow dropping in from the north, and this is expected to affect a good portion of central New York, and it could very well cause travel issues across many, many areas. Thanksgiving Day, temperatures in the upper 30s, windy, flurries, much cooler day. The day before, that would be Wednesday, we're looking at temperatures in the upper 50s, so pretty significant changes in the weather takes place as we head into the holiday. Again, a couple of sprinkles out there tonight. Our next area of low pressure works in from the west. This looks to bring widespread rain heading into tomorrow night. Clouds will thicken up overnight. Temperatures will hold steady in the upper 20s to low 30s. Tomorrow, it's a cloudy day throughout the afternoon. Temperatures in the mid 40s. Temperatures will hold in the 40s overnight. Rain will be breaking out after sunset between about 6 to 7 p.m. Rain is widespread and steady overnight. A few lingering showers into Wednesday. Looks like a warm afternoon. Temperatures make a run into the upper 50s. A strong cold front moves in Wednesday night. Winds will be picking up. Temperatures fall. The stage is set for lake effect snow Thursday and Friday. The southwest wind will keep the heaviest snow out of central New York Thanksgiving Day. But again, traveling to Watertown and Buffalo will be a different story. That's where a lot of the heavy snow will be. Winds turn into the northwest Thursday night to Friday. This will bring lake effect snow to central New York, and it does look widespread heading into Friday. Cloudy skies tonight, low of 29. Tomorrow, cloudy skies, rain very late in the day, high of 46. Storm Tracker 2 7-day forecast. Showers Wednesday, a very warm, I guess I should say mild, because 57, some wouldn't call that warm.
True.
But it's going to be warm for this time of the year. Thanksgiving Day, windy, cold, snow showers, but it's Friday that would be the big travel day. It's not an alert day yet. We're not quite to that severity, but it certainly will impact travel, and that continues into early Saturday.
And it's the bands. They're just, well, you got a handle on it. Sometimes lake effect is one of those things.
5 days away, it's really hard to pin down where those are going to be. But yeah, it looks like Friday is going to be the day.
You and your team will be all over it.
Yes.
All right. Thank you, Bill.